You're listening to the Dead Padawans Society, a science fiction and fantasy podcast celebrating the ideas, mythologies, and truths in iconic works of sci-fi. I'm your host, Brett Inman, joined by my friend,
Nick Dennis. Brett, you may have noticed as you're editing this in the future that this episode is a lot shorter.
you know, future me actually did notice that. It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot less work. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Why is this episode shorter, Nick?
we're doing the next couple episodes are going to be a little shorter because Brett and I are getting ready for a large, big event happening in Chicago this year. Star Wars Celebration is coming back this year. It's only a couple weeks away.
Celebrate good times. Come on. Do.
That's how I feel,
celebration.
Man. That's seriously how I feel.
Yeah, I know.
I'm getting super excited for this event. We have a lot of junk to get done before it happens.
For the uninitiated, what is this event?
So everyone knows about like San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con. Those are always big events. Trailers drop, all that kind of stuff. Well, Star Wars has its own Comic-Con where everything, like panels, movies, extras, like merch, like all of that fun stuff at a regular con, everything is Star Wars. And so the entire event is just super saturated with the galaxy far, far away. So,
gee, I wonder why you're excited about this.
Exactly.
I can't even imagine
what is causing
your excitement.
For a hardcore Star Wars fan, this is like one of the Star Wars meccas. Like you've got Lucasfilm in California, you've got Skywalker Ranch and Celebration. Like if you can hit those are like every fan's dream to go to. So I have been wanting to do this for years, finally getting to do it. And this year is going to be even bigger than in previous because I think it's been 4 days in years past, but this time it's 5 days, and so they've even expanded it. So it's going to be nuts. And I've never been to a con this large either, and so this will be even a new experience for me on that level. And so
I've not been to anything even nearly this big. Like this is huge. Like I'm actually a little intimidated.
Yeah,
just because of the scale.
Well, and I'm going to get into that in just a second because there were some things that I was intimidated by that some recent news has helped that a little bit of that subside. And so just to do a quick rundown of what's going to be happening specifically this year and what a lot of fans and even just casual Star Wars fans are looking forward to hearing. So the big events that are this year, you've got obviously the movies, which is the big one is Star Wars Episode 9. We don't know what the title for it is. We haven't seen a trailer.
But we probably will.
For this. And so everyone's saying, obviously, this is when we're going to get that information. This is when it's going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is going to have everybody in a frenzy, just that alone. Other movie stuff happening this is going to be the 20-year reunion or anniversary of The Phantom Menace. And so there's a lot of speculation as to will the entire cast be back. One person, Jar Jar Binks, Ahmed Best, the actor, is going to be there. I don't know yet if other people have said yes, like Liam Neeson, Natalie Portman. They haven't said they're coming yet.
Yeah, I just saw today that Hayden Christensen is coming. So
yeah, he'll be there. I mean, he wasn't in Episode 1, but I mean, that's everyone's.
Oh, I guess that's true.
That's what everyone. I mean, if
do you think they'll get Jake Lloyd?
Man, if they got Jake Lloyd, people would go nuts. I know he hates it. Jake Lloyd hates Star Wars, or at least in the past he has been adamant about that. But if he came back. Yeah. People would lose their minds.
Oh man, if he's there, I'm gonna have to get him to sign my Turbo Man doll.
Do you have a Turbo Man for real?
No, but I'll get one.
Oh, I'd buy that sucker on eBay just for that. Yeah, so those are the movies, and then there's speculation on will they talk about what's next after the end of the Skywalker saga? Will they talk about what's going to be happening with this Benioff and Weiss? I think that's their names, the Game of Thrones guys. They're apparently going to
Yeah.
be doing a trilogy set somewhere else in the galaxy, or maybe a different time. There hasn't been a lot about that, and so maybe this will be the time that they reveal some of those things. We really don't know what's coming after episode 9. There isn't anything like on the books yet, so I'll be interested to know if they give any hints toward the future. A big thing happening this year is TV. This is the year for Star Wars TV as well, because you've got the first Star Wars live action series, The Mandalorian, coming later this year. So they're having their own panel at Celebration. You've got the animated series, Clone Wars is coming back. Resistance is going to have its second season coming, and then the other series, Rebels, that concluded last year, they're going to do like a remembered stage where they, bring those people back and reminisce and talk about that series as well. So a lot when it comes to TV. There's the parks. You got Galaxy's Edge opening up at Disneyland and Disney World later this year. So they're going to be
Oh, is that what
revealing.
they're calling those?
They're called Galaxy's Edge. That park. And so they're going to be going into detail about the rides, the experience, what people will have there. I actually would love to go into that panel because I'm very interested in exactly how that in-universe park experience is going to be. And I know I most likely won't get there for a while because it's going to be nuts. And so maybe getting a little taste of it at Celebration would suffice for a little while. They also got games. So there's this Vader VR. Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't.
But
I will.
So ILM has their own VR lab that they've started putting some different projects together. And their first like really big one is this game called Vader Immortal. And so they're going to have a panel for it, and they're going to have VR set up during the con for people to play it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
So if we got in on that, I would love to play that. And then there's all this.
Oh, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and then there's all this speculation of what's coming next in video games, because a lot of people have been really angry with EA that they have the only thing they've done. They have the full Star Wars license basically right now for video games, and the only thing they've done with it are the 2 Battlefront games. Whereas back in the day when it was LucasArts making the games, they pumped out game after game after game. And so there's a lot of like fan anger about what's going on here. And so I'd be interested to know if they're going to say something specifically of here's what we've got in the works, here's what you can expect in video games. Those are kind of like the big panels. Obviously a lot more stuff than just panels happen at an event like this. This year there's going to be a big game changer. I don't know at the big Comic Cons like what they've done like in order to change the experience as far as lines go, because a lot of people know at cons when you go there that there's a lot of getting in a queue, standing in a line, hanging out overnight sometimes in order to get into some sort of into a panel. Like you have to basically camp out. Well, this year Star Wars Celebration is not doing that. They've actually changed the whole thing, and they're doing these virtual lines and lotteries in order to get into the major panels. And so
Really? That sounds like the Disney touch.
exactly, they're calling it Lightspeed, and basically it's through the mobile app and through your badge, you can put in your name for certain panels, and then they'll draw a lottery to see who gets in, who doesn't. And so I'm very interested to see how that works. I'm definitely happy that I'm not going to have to sleep on the pavement overnight, because I was fully expecting that was, because there's going to be at least one panel I'd want to do that for, is get in a line and camp out so that I could be in the room for the big, huge Celebration stage panel. But now with this...
But Nick, I was I was so excited about flashing back to like my kindergarten experience, and like pairing up with some other people, and everybody like laying their head on the other person's like stomach to take a nap, like they're their pillow. Man, you just ruined my dream.
I think that's how, with adults, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen right there. So probably not the best. And that's probably the reason for some of them trying to do something different as well, so that people aren't getting into trouble overnight laying on pavements in a busy city like Chicago. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, there's a bit of fan experience in the lineup, of people hanging out together. But I like that they've also announced that there's going to be plenty of nightlife events happening, because all of the panels are during the day. And so in the evening, you can go back to your hotel and chill and rest up. You can definitely do that. And you can go shopping, inside the convention. But they've also, said that there's going to be, different like movie viewing parties that they're going to put on. Podcasts usually have their hangouts in the evenings, and different fan groups like the 501st will get together in the evenings. You got to get tickets for all that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, I like it because maybe I'm hoping that this will make it to where you get to mingle with other fans a bit more and experience the stuff outside of the panels more. And so, yeah, I'm very interested to see how that gets pulled off. And then, of course, another big thing at conventions are the exclusives, the shopping, the different booths, not just for shopping, but like going to different fan booths, looking at props, costumes, memorabilia. The Star Wars fans are insane. They make incredible
they are
lifelike props and costumes that you get to like take pictures in. Like they have the cantina and the Millennium Falcon that you can get in and,
that's gonna be awesome,
and touch and be in the scene of. And so I can't wait for stuff like that. They've even announced that there's going to be like a convention game happening that Amazon is putting on called Use the Force, to where everybody at the con will either be on the light side or the dark side. And I don't know if it's like going to be some sort of point system or different objectives that people can do, but I'm guessing by the end of it, one will triumph over another and you'll be in one of those groups. And so I find that's pretty fun. That's a unique way to get people engaged outside of just the panels. So
yeah.
Overall, This is going to be it's going to be packed with content, with events, fun things to do, and so I am super excited for it. So tell me, let's just briefly talk about like the things that we are looking forward to most in it. So tell me, I want to hear from you out of like this stuff or other stuff you've heard. Give me like 2 things you are most excited for at Celebration.
I'm super basic. Like I am the most basic Star Wars fan ever. So I've to this point I've enjoyed the new trilogy. So I'm excited to see what does get announced about that. That probably is the thing that I'm most looking forward to. And especially like I'm a little nervous about J.J. Abrams being in charge of the final chapter of something. So I'm hoping to have my nerves about that kind of set at ease. Like, oh, no, this is actually, he's going to end something, and it's going to end well. Like, I'm excited about that. So that'd probably be the first thing.
Yeah, I can see that, because he starts a lot of things. You don't usually see him ending things when they're in a series. He usually checks out long before then. Okay, I'll give one that's kind of basic as well. I'm a normal small human being. I get starstruck. Like I'm looking forward to seeing the actors who play my favorite characters of all.
Oh, sure. Now, like are you going to do any like the photo ops?
Yes, I have. Currently, I bought a photo op for Peter Mayhew, who is the original Chewbacca.
Oh, dude.
And he's getting a little older, and so I'm like, man, this is my chance. If I'm ever going to see him, if I ever going to meet him, I've got to do it now, because
Well, and ironically, he's gonna probably be like sitting down and still be taller than you.
oh, absolutely. I think even when he was fine to stand up, I'm pretty sure they had to make him sit down for photo ops so that he is in frame. Because dude is 7 foot tall. But yeah,
Now, who else do you have?
I only have him right now, but I'm about to probably pull the trigger on a couple, one or two more. I really, really want to meet Mark Hamill, but he has not been announced as coming yet. And there's been some talk about him possibly not coming to this one. And boy, I really hope that's not true, because it is, like, I would throw down just to meet him. And I would be like, I don't care if everything else goes bad in this whole rest of the experience. I got to meet Mark. I mean, personal hero.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, what's another one that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm a super nerd, so some of the panel topics actually sound really interesting to me. The one thing I hadn't realized, so it's the 20th anniversary of Phantom Menace, but when the Phantom Menace came out, they also launched the first Lego Star Wars toys. And so they're doing several panels about the 20 years of Lego Star Wars, and I'm actually really excited to kind of go to some of that and, you know, catch some of those things. And even, I mean, part of that'll be nostalgia for me, because I loved and owned a lot of the early Lego Star Wars sets. You know, I can remember like saving up what little money I made.
Did you have the podcast or the podcast pod racing set?
The pod race was the only one I didn't have of like the first line. Like I had everything but that, and I think the Sith like Darth Maul ship, I didn't have that one. But I think everything else from that first series. So I'm really looking forward to that. There's also some cool stuff relating to STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. It's like an education thing.
Yeah,
but some of the like fan groups are going to be doing some of the fan groups are going to be doing panel discussions around and workshops around like STEM topics. So I thought catching one of those might be cool. What about you? Anything else?
That's really cool. I mean, I think above all else, the thing I'm looking forward to most is just the community experience. Every time I've heard anyone talk about what like Celebration and their experience there, the biggest thing they say is it's just so great to be around the fans. Everyone there is there because they love Star Wars. Like, these are my people. And so it's
that's cool.
Everyone tight in a space, and we're there for one reason, because we really love Star Wars and we're just excited for everything that we're going to be seeing and hearing. And
how cool.
I've heard time and time again that being with the fans in that building is the best part of the whole experience. And so I'm really looking forward to that. So
that, and I mean, I'm also looking forward to hanging out with one of my closest friends.
Yeah,
which is you, Nick.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're going to be there too. I'm going to enjoy that.
I love the way you said that. Oh yeah, and I guess you're going to be there too. Okay, that's you were going to bail on me, weren't you?
No. You were
gonna organa me and bail. Oh.
No, I'm actually very antisocial, and so I will be very happy that you're there with me to experience it as well. But so okay, so there's those things that we're hoping to experience and we're looking forward to. I'm gonna ask you kind of the opposite question of that. What could potentially disappoint you the most?
If I got con crud.
Oh yeah, con crud.
Like, people allegedly at events like this get sick all the time because you have so many people coming together, and so getting con crud, which is what they call it, but some kind of weird cold or sickness, or
you got all the sweaty nerds packed in like rats in the same place, and it gets around. Yeah, you got a vitamin C like crazy for that. Yeah.
So that's probably that would, if anything would ruin it for me, probably that would be the thing, you know. Or if we had a car accident on the way there, and we have to just watch it from like a hospital room, that'd be kind of a bummer. But what I mean, all the bad things that can happen with like travel, like those kinds of things.
Right.
We could get stabbed on the streets of Chicago. That'd be But
That's
yeah.
a part of the Chicago experience, man. You gotta roll with that.
Hey, look, Nick, I just got stabbed.
Spoken like two
What about-
Southerners who
what-
have no idea.
What would okay? So as such a huge Star Wars fan, like, what would disappoint you?
So this whole lottery system that they've introduced, which potentially could be incredible, be a huge game changer. You don't have to wait in lines and catch con crud. If that whole system is just a massive failure and it all breaks down, that will be a disaster, because this is the first time they're implementing it. First time can mean bugs and failures in the system. I'm hoping they are very confident in this launch, and because if
Have
it,
really good like fail safes in place.
well, and even if it's like, because it's a lottery and I like try to get into all these panels and I don't get into any of them, like it's like sorry,
would be
play
hugely
sorry, play
disappointing,
again, play again kind of thing. Ooh, that would really stink. So I'm hoping that is done in a way that they've really perfected the art and use of it to where everyone gets a good experience from it. So, but if that is a failure, man, the whole event is going to crash. So hopefully,
But that
that's
won't
not the case.
happen, and we're gonna have an awesome time.
Yeah. Well, again, there's the community of fans. They're all going to be enraged, but but we'll still be together. It's about the friends
we
you
can
make
see
along
some really
the way.
awesome rage-fueled lightsaber duels between like fans. That'll be
Oh, absolutely.
It'll just intensify the dueling in the halls. Like, that'll be great.
Speaking of which, you and I need to go grab a couple plastic lightsabers for exactly that. Add that to the list.
Okay, I will.
Add that to the
Well, we
ever-growing
actually-
list of things we gotta prepare for.
Speaking of prep, we really need to get back to that because we do have a lot to do. So
Yeah, lot to do, lot to get ready.
been exciting talking about it. Hope our 6 listeners have enjoyed hearing about it, and we'll be sharing after the event about the experience, about what we enjoyed, things that happened. So
Yeah,
looking
and I'll-
forward to being able to recap at that point.
And I'll definitely be taking pictures and videos while we're there and posting some of that so people can see what the event is like from the inside and from the ground perspective. So, yeah. Well, man,
Cool.
as always, thank you guys for listening and joining us on the Dead Padawan Society. We appreciate your support, your feedback. Leave a comment, hit us up on social media, email us, tell us what you think. And yeah, follow us as we're heading to Chicago. We're about to have a ton of fun. And yeah, well, guys, thank you so much. May the force be with you.
And live long and prosper.